What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react to 15 pictures that prove Canada is like no other country. So, as Americans, there are so many things about Canada that we have no idea about and we don't understand. So, today, I want to take a look at 15 random pictures that show how unique Canada and Canadian culture really is. So let's take a look here, starting with, what am I looking at? what am I looking at here? Money. Money on metal. This is, you know what this is? This is like a coin machine or like a ticket machine, right? Oh my gosh. This is like a ticket machine or where you enter into somewhere and you're supposed to pay. You're supposed to put money inside of this thing. But it's out of order. And Canadians, you're just putting the money on top. You're being honest, decent people. You have to understand. For an American, like this is mind-blowing. You guys actually voluntarily, out of the goodness of your heart and moral code, you don't just walk in because it's out of order. You put money on top and nobody takes it? Like, you actually live in a society that is this trusting. This would never work here in America. And usually what I say is, different parts of America, different cities or smaller towns, it depends on where you live, it depends on how bad, that determines how bad the crime is or how much of a community it is or how trusting people are. It depends where you live in America. But for something like this, it doesn't matter where you are. This would never, I don't think this would ever happen in the United States, really. Like at some point, somebody would come along and just scoop up the money, like into their pocket and be like, oh, free money. Or like either by ignorance or they probably know exactly what they're doing. But that's awesome that this can happen in Canada, and this says a lot about Canada. And I can see that it is Canada because of the coin, there, your little toonie coin, your toonie coin. Why did I say it like that? Your toonie coin. Why? I don't know. Because this is frying my brain so much. Because I don't believe it. That's awesome, actually. That does show how unique Canadian culture really is. Let's keep going here, though. This is... Okay. All right. Canada, you keep me on my toes. Here you got a hockey stick. I mean, if you need to hold up your sign with something, why not a hockey stick? You need a big old stick. That's what it is. It's in the name. This is so freaking Canadian. It's not even funny how Canadian this is. Is this so... You're at a protest and you're holding up your sign with a hockey stick. Is it so that you got something to like, if things turn south, if things go south, you got it. You got your trusty stick. This is old Bessie, my hockey stick, my best stick. And you're ready to, if, okay, don't do that. No violent protests. No, we don't condone that. But, or maybe, right after the protest, you're just ready to go down to the hockey rink and get a game going. Why not be efficient with it? But that is very funny that a Canadian did that. Okay. What is this? Guys, come on. I've seen other Canadian pictures before, videos on YouTube and stuff, and this comes up time and time again. A Canadian in the dead of winter wearing shorts. Why? How? What's the reason for this? Like, do Canadian, I guess the only thing I can think of is you live in Canada your whole life, you experience all these winters. At a certain point, the nerve endings on your legs just die, or I don't know. Like, or maybe this guy he just wants to be mobile because he's like working on the road. I don't know. This is just cope. I don't know if there's any real reason to be in shorts in a literal snowstorm, but Canadians apparently, you guys, some of you guys do this. It's impressive and at the same time a bit disturbing. But that's okay. This is Shop Canadian. So, yeah, like Canadians in a lot of parts of Canada, I've heard stores and Canadians are trying to boycott American goods in particular as sort of a protest against some of the stuff that America and the American government has been doing to Canada. I get it. Are these types of signs, is this still like really prevalent in Canada? Like in a grocery store, is it normal to see stuff like this? This is Shop Canadian. Look for these symbols in the store to make it easier to shop Canadian goods and, in another sense, avoid American goods. I remember doing a video about Canadians boycotting American goods. That was like a few months ago, right? But yeah, obviously this is still going on. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Is this real? Is this real? What? How? So, what? It's like how is it all melted on one side and then snow on the other? This looks real to me. Or someone did a very good Photoshop or that AI image. But I'm going to assume this is real. I just don't know how it's possible. Maybe Canada has like really spastic weather throughout the day. I don't. Or maybe it's because like the shade is on the left. The shade, that's enough to protect the snow from melting. And then the sunlight has melted the other side. And just the Canadians going along with the bit here, wearing the winter weather clothing, and then that guy in his t-shirt and shorts, makes for a pretty awesome picture. It's also it's just confusing. Okay, so this is a license plate that says sorry. How on earth did this person get the most Canadian license plate? Isn't there has to be a lot of like competition to get this one. Like in Canada, the sorry license plate, Canadian, you're known for this word. This iconic Canadian word. Sorry. Or sorry. Sorry about that. But can there only be one license plate like that is sorry, like this word? So just one guy in all of, maybe it's just for Ontario. Maybe every province has its own, sorry representative who gets the plate, the number one plate. That's pretty cool. Let's keep going. What? What? The more you look at this picture, like the more questions that just come up. The more you look at this. First of all, there's a moose at the door. Is that okay? Is that normal? Does he want something? He looks like he wants something. Who has a door with like a giant window in it, by the way? This is a really weird door. Not to, criticize your door, but it's weird. And it lets Moose kind of stare at you. It's like a Canadian horror movie or something. What's the dog doing? Is the dog like talking to it? What are all these animals getting up to? What's going on here? It's like the moose doesn't like that they took a photo of this. Some kind of meeting going on here that us humans were never meant to be a part of. But on a serious note, this would really freak me out because moose are gigantic creatures, right? I've seen like TikToks of Canadians like feeding a carrot to a moose. And I always just am like, what? That's a lot of trust in this wild animal. I feel, is this moose going to barge through the window? I don't know. Anyway, I could just go on and on about that. No tobogganing permitted at this facility. Sorry. I like the dedicated sign that says sorry. And it even feels like they added it later in its own sign saying sorry, because they felt like the first initial sign was maybe too harsh. No tobogganing. Okay, let's add the sorry. What is tobogganing exactly? Because I've heard this word. Is that a certain type of sled? Because we don't use toboggan, that word, in the United States. We say, like, no sledding permitted. Do you guys say it like that? Or because the use of the word toboggan is strange to me, but I've heard it. I know it's like a type of sled, maybe? Or is a sled a type of toboggan? I don't know. And who's gonna sled in this area? It's like a tropical forest. I don't. All right. Again, Canadians, you really make good use of your hockey sticks. Why just keep it at home when you're not playing? Use it for signs and what is this thing? This is like a credit card swiper? This is another big difference I've heard about in Canada. You guys got this like machine that they're given to you, like at a restaurant or the drive-through. They reach out with the machine, whether it's on a stick, a pole, or a hockey stick. They reach out with the machine, and you put your card in it. Is that right? Because in America, here, there are devices like this, but typically you give your card to the person. They take it from you and they put it in the card machine and then they give your card back to you. Maybe that's too many extra steps. And then you gotta like hand over your card to another human being, and that's awkward. And I kind of like that. I'd like to be fed a debit credit card machine on a hockey stick. I wouldn't mind that. Is this your mitt found at base of the power pole? I washed and mended it for free. Good luck. What? Canada is a special place. So they found this mitt on the ground. And they didn't just steal it or kick it like Americans might. Throw dirt at it. They brought it home, mended it, then nailed it to a public post for the owner to find. That is so far above and beyond anything I've ever conceived of or ever heard of an American doing. It's just so cool that it does feel like Canada, in general, you do have a great society, a very trusting, sort of empathetic society where people actually don't want to steal your stuff. They don't want to take the money that's for the coin machine. They don't, and they want to make sure people get your clothing back if it's lost. That's really cool. That's how a civilized society should be. But sounds like fantasy to me. But it's cool that it does seem to exist in Canada. What is this? There's some context to this. It says, my Canadian hospital bill? Okay. All right. All right. I get it. In Canada, you don't get a hospital bill. And in America, you're usually mailed a big bill. Especially if you go to the emergency room or get any type of health services. You get used to the bill in the mail. It's very stressful. In Canada, blank piece of paper. Nothing. Yes. All right. I'm jealous. There you go. Fine. Yeah. All right. You got it good. All right. What is going on here? This is a Canadian having a very tough time driving down this road. Oh my, look at all the squiggles in the road. Like they were just driving down this street and it's like, all right, just like I planned. And we're going left. Like nothing ever happened. I would imagine that Canadians are very good at driving in the snow, ice, in the winter, because you guys get a lot of practice. In America, most of the time, even if at this level of snow, a lot of Americans won't even leave the house, won't even try, because it's considered like dangerous. And like a lot of Americans don't feel like we have the skill to drive on ice and snow. So if this was an American, it wouldn't have even been saved. Like it would have been tire tracks right into that guy's house, really. This is so we're at the it's like we're at the scene of a crime. Somebody spilled coffee on the ground in a store, and they didn't just leave it like any American would, just kind of slowly back away. Wasn't me. They at least wrote sorry in it with their fingers. Not like you should have gone and gotten somebody to help or even volunteered to clean it up, but then after that, perhaps the next best thing is to at least write sorry. I don't know if that makes it better or worse for the worker who had to clean it up, but this is what? What? Is this real? What the heck is this? Is kind of like weird, scary, creepy. Like imagine waking up at like 3 a.m. and this guy is just staring at you like this. I don't know why that happened. I mean, probably a nice guy, but anyway, this is just like going out on a Canadian winter day, and if you're like sweating, or what would lead you to end up looking like this? Like your facial hair is freezing? This has to be one of the coldest places in Canada, because this is not normal. Even if you're like in winter and cold, this is not normal. Maybe this is normal in Canada. I don't know. Oh my God. And for him to have a little grin. My face is, I can't feel my face. I'm not smiling. I just can't move my face. That's probably what's happening here. And finally, beware of dog. What is going on? What is going on here? What? What's going on here? Like with the moose at your house. Why are there so many moose at your guys' house? What's up with this? Is this a normal occurrence in Canada? And the beware of dog sign just makes it funny. Maybe this is their dog. Maybe this isn't a moose. It's a dog. Some kind of dog breed? I don't know. There's just so many pictures of moose like looking in people's windows. Why they gotta look in your window? Like, what are they wanting to see? Mind your business, you moose. Get out of here. That's funny, and I don't know. I'm just kind of curious how often does this happen? Because there's multiple photos now of the moose in your yard. But anyway, that's it. Those are the 15 Canadian pictures I wanted to take a look at. That was really cool, funny, shocking, confusing, and entertaining at the same time. And I definitely learned some things about Canadian culture too. So that was great. Anyway, if you enjoyed this, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on any of these pictures. If you can add any context or comment on these Canadian pictures, that'd be really great. That'd be fun to hear about. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Canada and seeing Canadian things I've never seen before, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.